So hello everybody, welcome. Thank you to be there for this MBA presentation. So we will introduce to you the new specialization that we will do as from next year. So just to start, a small introduction about the Vatel group that you may know. So Vatel is 41 campuses around the world, more than 7,000 students, coming from 65 nationalities, 31 countries. And it's the first hospitality group doing some training and some, so having some school around the world with more than 35 years of experience. And we have more than 13,000 alumni around the world. As you can see, so we are the first group in hospitality and tourism management school, and as you can see, around the world. For this new specialization, it will be the International Hospitality Financial Management, so the new specialization hosting by Vatel Switzerland. I will briefly speak about the first year of the specialization. So it's 21 weeks of academic courses, more than 500 hours, 2 examination weeks, 1 partial and 1 final week. You have the opportunity to do an optional internship between the first and the second year of MBA, so 2 to 3 months with the support of our internship department, and then you will gain 60 credits that you can transfer to another school in case. So it's a European credit transfer recognition that you can use in your future life as well. So during the first year of the MBA, here are the 5 main courses or the main topic. We will cover the financial analysis, the marketing as well, human resources, corporate strategy, and as well the financial management. Speaking about the financial management, I'm pleased to introduce now Mr. Marc Forestier, who will explain to you how it works. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pierre-Antoine. Thank you. First, let me introduce myself. As you can read, I graduated a long time ago at HEC in Paris. I worked most of my life as the CEO of French subsidiaries of American groups, and I have also the pleasure to manage and found a biotechnology company. On top of that, I know a little bit about hospitality because my father spent most of his life as a hotel manager, and I was grown most of my youth in hotels. As far as financial analysis, which is one of the main topics next of the master, what the students will be taught. They will be international financial and accounting principles, and we're going to teach them how to analyze financial statements. They will learn new topics which probably they have not seen in bachelor, like equity, lease treatment, discounted cash flow, which is used to value the company in case of creation of a company. And we will, of course, focus on financial analysis and the analysis of the financial performance of hotels and companies of the tourism industry. Phyllis is not here, unfortunately, so Pierre-Antoine, you take her place.
Yes, so I will do a small introduction about one of our 3 main teachers during the program. So for the marketing, we will work with Mrs. Phyllis Kessler. She's already teaching with the bachelor program, so graduated from the Yale University. She has a lot of experiences within the airlines companies and doing a lot and delivering, a lot of marketing concepts. Basically on sales and marketing with the travel industry, and she's as well the founder of his own consulting company, Kessler Consulting. We will just see the main topics that you can see we will cover during the first year of the MBA, so the marketing strategy, how it works, how you can deploy the strategy, and how you can really do a great segmentation of your markets really to implement your strategies. That are mainly the point, and as well some other things as the Port of 5 Forces, and you have as well the digital and the social media, how it works, how it can be implemented for the company, but as through all the departments in the hotel. So it will be a pleasure for us to work with Mr. Forestier, with Mrs. Kessler, and now I will introduce Mr. Schauder, who will present the human resources part.
Thank you. So for the students being in the room, I introduce myself. For the external people, I mean, you can see my curriculum here. I'm not a teacher by profession, but I'm trying to share my experience at Vatel, Switzerland. I had the chance of working in nearby 30 years for Hyatt International as VP Human Resources. As seen here, opening over 30 hotels, closing a couple, and taking over a couple of hotels as well, which gave me, on an intercultural point of view, a lot of exposure, a lot of experience on their legislation, local legislation as well, dealing with union, training, development, and today I'm still helping companies like the Hotel Mamounia in Morocco to move HR to the 21st century. So why about human resources? I mean, if we are looking backwards, HR was only considered as admin function for years and years. And today we are realizing, companies are realizing that HR is most probably with marketing the two key proactive department. They have to be proactive if a company should be successful. Why? Because people are making the product, people are making the success of any company today. People are working for people, and the major difficulty today is how to manage our human capital, how to manage people. And definitely what we are trying to do, making and finding the right balance between the technical competencies and the personal competencies here, social skills and know-how. The technical competencies, I'm used to say that we can teach everybody to learn task, to learn technical competencies. I mean, to change behavior, to change attitude, it's a bit more complicated. Adjusting to new culture is not very easy because we have a tendency to impose our own values wherever we go in the world, and that's most probably the biggest failure people are making. So that's the reason it is extremely important to talk about this attitude and the multicultural aspect. As well, HR is changing. I mean, today we have 4 generations working together. I mean, the former baby boomer generation, they don't really have a name. Very few people left, the baby boomers. And then we have the 3 generation X, Y, Z, called the millennium generation. And the expectation of all those different generation are different, and we have to adapt ourselves. So that's another reason why HR is becoming more and more critical. As written on the second line here, sadly, people are still today promoted because of their competencies. We are not looking at, and we are not being proactive enough in finding out if they, number one, want to be promoted, but if they have managerial skills to suddenly manage 5, 10, 50, 100 people. And that's another reason why during the 4th year we will work on that. So the HR course will be based on one hotel opening project. The last couple of years we did project in Switzerland, in Lucerne. The students did a project in Lucerne, in Bern and Basel. And basically what we are doing is from conducting a labor survey, finding out all the information of a city, of a country from a labor point of view, to the opening of the hotel through advertisement campaign, through recruitment campaign, through development of policies, procedure, how to set HR standard, how to develop the back of the house, all the offices and all the HR related department, and thinking, and the students know thinking what? How we think? Out of the box. I mean, that is very, very critical because they are solutions and we don't have to always use the same, and we should not copy paste always what was done in the past. We can be innovative, and we can try, according to the location, new things. So the entire project works obviously through HR, but in connection with finance, with marketing, with obviously innovation, and definitely management. And during the class, we are working and preparing the survey, and then we go for 2 days on site, and students are meeting the tourist office, the hotel schools, just to see what is happening in the local environment, and they are working and meeting general manager. They have to make all their appointments. Until today, I was visiting them. We are looking for next year to move out of Switzerland, having perhaps a team in Milano, a team in Lyon or in Paris, and another one potentially in London, just to really make it international and to give the experience of what does it mean to open a new hotel anywhere in the world, what to take into consideration. Very basic thing, lockers. We have male lockers, we have female lockers. And very often the architects are brilliant. They said, okay, 50-50, 50 male, 50 female. But we don't think about the fact that eventually the ratio will change. And suddenly, for a certain reason, you will end up with 70% male and 30% female. You just have 20% lockers too many for female suddenly, and you miss 20% for the male. And there are solutions. Basically, they are very, very innovative solution to avoid and to make sure that employees will be properly accommodated. So it's a totally integrated project. We will be working in year 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schauder. So I will now give the speech to Mr. Forestier, introducing the corporate strategy. Thank you.
Well, in this case, I'm going to talk for my colleague, Madame Conchon, who unfortunately cannot be here. But I know quite well this course, because until this year I was giving that course to the first year master. It's the most senior course we have in our first year of master, and it's a course during which we teach and we share experience with students. We teach them how to craft and to craft a strategy. You know that nowadays company cannot grow and survive without developing a strict strategy, a defined strategy. So we teach students how to do that through a certain number of models, certain number of tools. And it's a capstone course because we use for that class all the competencies and skills acquired during the 3 years, right? Human resources, finance, and everything. It's a general course. It's not targeting particular hospitality, so it's applicable to any industry. So those students who would not like to continue with hospitality would certainly take advantage of this class. And it's supported, as for the HR program, by a very solid project. And okay, this project is just basically, you have a lot of information here, but it's basically the analysis of the strategy developed and pursued by a real company in the area of hospitality or in other industries, and preparing some ideas for innovating and changing recommendation for changing the strategy for companies. Of course, we do not share with those companies our recommendation, but it's a very interesting program, right? I'm finished with corporate strategy. I'm sure that Charlotte Conchon would have spoken better than I of this class, but I had to talk for her, right? Next one is the financial management. That's another finance course, which is, in my opinion, the most dynamic course in finance. It's really managerial accounting or managerial financial management. In other words, I have just written a sentence, how to understand financial statements, financial numbers, and translate them into sound and efficient management decision. That's the topic. So we're covering a lot of topics, but basically I will share with students my experience in these areas. So you can read, I don't want to get into details, but basically it's it's not only for financial people, it's for managers, right? How to use financial information to make sound decision. I'm finished with this, and this is for you.
Thank you, Mr. Forestier. So we cover the first topic, so the first part, I mean, for the first year of the MBA. So as you can see, there is really a lot of cross competencies that you can use and that you can share with all the courses. So the main goal is really to help you to develop your competencies and to use them in some applied projects as the hotel opening projects. Do you have some questions regarding the first year of the MBA program? If not, perfect. So we'll continue now with the second year and really the specialization in international hospitality financial management. So I will just give some figures about the course, sorry. Thank you, Mr. Sbriglio. So he's as well part of the project to do a great presentation to all of you. So the specialization, so it's 14 weeks, so 14 intensive weeks, more than 230 hours. There is 2 examination week. We will have as well the VIBG, so the Vatel Integrated Business Game, who will be part of this year. So we will compete against the other Vatel schools on some real cases and on daily basis. And we will cover in 1 week 4 years to really see what are the decisions that will be taken during the course, what is really the effect of those decisions on your own project. And same as the first year, so you will gain 60 European credit transfer that you can use. So it means that for the MBA specialization, it's 120 credits that you can use for further education if you want to do it. And you have as well the internship with the support as well from same as for the first year, so with the support of our internship team that will help you really to find the position that match with your future expectation. I will now give again the speech to Mr. Forestier. So he is the guru of finance, so I will give him the speech.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. It was a couple of months ago. We had an academic meeting with Monsieur De Falk and Monsieur Dubuis, and we came to the conclusion that nowadays, whatever you want to do in a company, you need to have very solid competency and skills in finance. That's the basic thing. Whatever you want to do, HR, marketing, finance, general management, if you do not control finance, you cannot have a senior position. On top of that, we realized, and of course everybody knows that Switzerland is the best country for tourism and hospitality, and secondly, Switzerland is also the country of finance. It's London, but also Geneva, Zurich, and Switzerland. So it made sense for us to create, starting next year, or starting next September, a program, a second-year program specialized in international hospitality finance, which, by the way, will be the unique one in Switzerland. There's no other school. In the past, Glion was developing this program. They have stopped, right? Next slide, please. Whom are we targeting? We're targeting, in fact, 3 categories, but basically we are targeting future senior managers of the hospitality and tourism industry who have to get a dual competence in hospitality management and finance in depth. We're also targeting people who have decided or will decide to continue their career in the financial function of hospitality or other industry, because finance, is universal. And third, maybe future financial analysts or people working for investment funds, which will be probably specialized in tourism and hospitality. This is the audience which we are targeting. Thank you. As Monsieur Dubuis said, we are going to deliver a program over 14 weeks with 230 hours of class. On top of that, you will see in a minute, there will be much more homework assignments, and that's a lot of work, which, of course, as I said, will strengthen both management and finance competencies. This will be done basically using tutorials. We will have a very few classes with slides. Most of our classes will be done through tutorials and using project, and to try to keep the courses as close as possible to reality, right? This year, for example, in MIA 5, though it was not a finance, most of my classes I did through tutorials. We strongly believe that for our students, having a dual competence in both hospitality management and finance will make for them easier to get fast to senior position, to a high-level position. We're sure of that. So what the program will be made of a lot of modules. In the middle, you have the specialized module in blue, and I will comment them in detail in a minute. On top of the specialized module, you see that we will have HR, we will have marketing for a certain number of hours. In particular, in human resources, there will be a specialized module, Train the Trainer, which will give a right to a certification, and which will be given by Alain. He's done this year. We will have project management, a very solid module on innovation and creativity, which will help students to develop one of the projects, which I will comment in a minute, which is the entrepreneurship project. And we will have, of course, an advanced tourism economics class and some languages. On top of that, there is a thesis which all students should complete before getting their diploma. Now let me, if you have questions, you will ask them later on. Let me get now into the specialized module, right? So what you can see here is that if you add all the hours, you will find 235 hours of class. But on top of that, if you look at the top right of the screen, you will find an estimate of 150 hours of homework to complete project and business cases. So altogether, it's a lot of work. It's something like 380 hours of work, which we anticipate students to do, smiling. The specialized modules, I don't want to get into too many details, but we will have three main projects. One will be an entrepreneurship project, for which Alain will also work with us on the HR section of the business plan. The marketing teacher will also work with me for the marketing section, and I will control and monitor the overall business plan and financial section. That's the key project. We will have another project which will be an applied business project. We're going to work with a couple of partners who are going to use us as consultants. They will come to us and ask us to fix a certain number of problems or develop financial forecasts, or maybe prepare balance scorecards or procedures or whatever. That's the applied, so we will be close to reality, working for hospitality or closed industry companies. The third project, which is based on business cases, will be the budget control. So we're going to teach you how to not only construct, but also analyze and discuss, as in management teams, what the reality of budgets and the explanation of variances, which we have done a little bit with third-year students this year. If they are in the room, yes, I can see a couple of them. On top of that, you will have a complete module on revenue management, which has never been given in that school before, delivered by a very knowledgeable teacher. An advanced financial analysis, which will complete what will be done in the first year of master, which has been presented before. And finally, a topic, most of the people working in hospitality will have one day or another, they will face problems of growth. And when you grow a company, you have to finance that growth. So there will be a module explaining how you can grow a company and how you can finance this growth. Equity, borrowing, whatever, right? So I think that with this, and again, I'm repeating this project, in particular the applied project and the entrepreneurship project, will be done in cooperation with the marketing teacher and the human resource teacher sitting in this chair. That's an overview of all modules, and then the specialized modules. And then, next slide, please. Blank. Summary. The reason why you should all come to this master, second year specialization, and before the first year, of course, is this master will be unique in Switzerland. I'm just repeating. It will provide students with dual competencies, and this is critical today, to be honest with you. To have a good position in a company, you cannot work only with a bachelor, you need a master. But this master should give you a dual competence in finance and hospitality management, and this is what we are going to give you. You will have cross-fertilization among students, because some students will come from other Vattel school, but we'll have also external students coming here, and during class, the cross-fertilization is an advantage. We will provide you with 8 knowledgeable external lecturers. I cannot give the names right now, but believe us, we have found a couple of very good and specialized lecturers, and of course, 6 experienced and knowledgeable teachers as well. You have seen our pedigree, huh? Basically, most of the work of this specialization master will be done using project and tutorials. No slide, no lecture, no teacher talking and talking and talking. Just a few, and basically, and you will benefit, if you attend this master, of the internal and external environment of Vattel Switzerland. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Forestier. And as it was mentioned by Mr. Forestier, we are really lucky because we were able to lock some collaborations with, for the specialization. So we will work. So we are proud to announce that, because we will work with the Institute of Tourism from the HESSO, and as well the Observatoire Valaisan du Tourisme, so the Valaisan Tourism Observatory, and as well Mr. Stéphane Dubreuil, who is the director and professor of finance to the well-known Nomea School. So I'm really happy to launch this new specialization, and we are now ready for your questions, if you have some questions. If everything is clear, so, oh, yes, please.
So you said that some students in the first year of the master can come from another school? Like if they want to do only the second year of the master, can they come from a French school, for example? And if they come from a French school, how can they successfully follow this program since it's in English?
Depending on the origin of those students, so if they come from the Vattel group, by example, so as you may know, the first year of the MBA, so it's a general year, so it means that in all the Vattel schools, they will achieve the same kind of program, and then they can choose to come with us for the specialization. And we have as well, by example, from students coming from the bachelor program, from the French section, they will have the opportunity to be eligible for the program if they achieve any languages courses. So they will need to achieve a certified course in English, by example. And here by Vattel Switzerland, we will provide to the student the opportunity to do it on site. So it will be done through Cambridge, and it will be available for the students. And then depending on the experiences of a new participant, by example, so it will be checked individually depending on his own experiences. Did I respond to the question? Yes.
If I can add something, there will be a couple of areas which we have already put in the program in order to teach French section students the Anglo-Saxon accounting and financial principle, and also in marketing, because that might be a little bit different. So we have planned already to have a couple, I believe, 8 or 10 hours of training to make sure that the students coming from French origin will follow with successful this program. That was your question? Thank you very much, Dimitri.
Some other question? Yes.
For Mr. Forestier, yes, for you. What kind of job can we expect to obtain after doing a master program here?
I said it already. I think.
If I don't want to do finance, can I go into project management, for example?
Absolutely. You know that with the Vattel program, in theory, you're going to continue your career in hospitality. But I strongly believe that with the background you get here, you can enter any industry, honestly. In marketing, in finance, in human resources, what you learn here can be applicable in all industries. You're not forced to do. Of course, by priority, you would go into hospitality because you've got a background in hospitality now. But to be honest with you, and compared to other business schools, I strongly believe that what we teach you here, the background you will get here, will make feasible for you to enter any industry. Now, as far as positions are concerned, I told you, you can, with what you're going to learn here, you can be a senior manager. Of course, when you will start, you will not be a senior manager, but you will improve and increase and enhance your opportunities to be promoted. You can be in a financial position in hospitality or other industries. So it's very open. That's my answer. Is it your question? That's nice.
Some other questions? Somebody else? Yes.
I would like to ask concerning the applied cases with hotels, what type of cases can we expect to work on? Concerning the applied cases, yes, what type of cases can we expect to work on?
Thank you for your question. Well, for the moment, we are in discussion. I cannot say that it's fixed. It's fixed with one company, but we are in negotiation with a couple of hotels, famous hotel in the Valley area in Switzerland. As far as the partner we have already selected and which has approved to work with us, it's not an hotel, it's a company which is involved in the promotion and the construction of, let's say, tourism facilities, and we are going to act, as I told you before, on a couple of topics. I don't know yet in detail the topics, but again, we are going to work for them as consultant. So it's going to be exciting. For the first year, it's going to be free of charge. But then, they will have to pay. Question? Okay.
Some other questions? Yes. Please.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask approximately how many students could be in the class of masters?
So at this stage, we have 15 students who will participate to the specialization, and we will, I think, block the number of students to 20 to 25, really to ensure a high level of education. So at this stage, we have 15 students who will participate to the specialization. Some other questions? Everything is clear? Perfect. So I thank you all for your attendance and for your questions, and I strongly hope that we were able really to show you that we want to do something, I won't say trendy, but really something that match with the expectation of the professionals, and that this specialization will really help you to grow your career, and that you will be really able to enter in the market with some real competencies that you will be able to transfer to other industries. So as you may know, so the hospitality industry, so we have a lot of different kinds of industry. They come to pick our, I will say our employees. We have really a kind of competencies that we can share and that we can use in all the other industries. So I thank you all in attendance, and I'm really happy to get your question, or if you need some other information, feel free to contact Mrs. Erank Aiche, who is responsible for the admission, and we will respond as soon as possible to your question. Thank you to all of you. And thank you as well, sorry, to Mr. Schauder and Forestier for their well speech regarding the new specialization. Thank you. C'est bon?